there's a moment when you come up with a brand new project and you can't wait to get started, except you don't have all of the stuff just yet. But now I have everything for my writer notebook. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Dawn Dalton. I am a freelance writer, an aspiring author, and this year I am publishing my debut novel, Game On. One of the problems I've been having with one of my legacy systems, my writer's notebook, is the rigidity of having everything in a notebook that doesn't flex with me. So when I set this up, I only gave myself a couple of pages to jot down dialogue, story ideas, whatever. And I'm running into the problem where my story ideas and dialogue sections are completely full. And that means that I have to split it up and have 2 or 3 places in it like a normal bullet journal would. As well as when I'm doing the story and series Bibles for my different stories, I didn't give myself enough space to allow my characters room to grow and breathe. And I've already solved part of that problem with this. This is a super old Plan Ahead cover that I put a Happy Planner mini into that has the characters and places in the stories that I'm currently working on, or the series I'm currently working on. And that helped alleviate some of it so that when I get done with that series or story, I can then fully put into my writer notebook for legacy purposes. In case I ever want to go back to that world, I can put everything in there and not have to flip back and forth through all of my stories. But that doesn't solve the problem of the stuff that I'm not currently working on. The story ideas that I just randomly collect bits and pieces of that end up on Post-it notes and scraps of paper and end up just shoved into my writer notebook that then never see the light of day ever again. And it's not fair to those ideas because I do collect a lot. I am a huge proponent of Neil Gaiman's compost heap theory of collecting story ideas. And at some point, stuff will all just start clicking. But I can't deal with the idea of having my dialogue being in 2 or 3 different places inside of my notebook, which is why I grabbed this out of my stash. This is just an Agenda 52 6-ring A5. And what I'm going to put in there are my ideas for blog posts, video ideas, story ideas, character traits, locations, dialogues, names that I think sound really good, things for my characters to do, a few phrases that are used a lot in romance, a brain dump of randomness. And I do want to stick my beat sheet for Romancing the Beat in there. And I got this idea as I was setting everything up for the new year when I was paring down my planner stack to one planner for the year and realizing that by going through it and figuring out what in my systems work and what don't, the writer notebook didn't. And I need something just a little bit different to set up for the year. So I have a bunch of A5 pages. I got some colored grid paper that are A5 punched for 6-ring. They also came with some pockets and a little grid ruler, which is somewhere in this mess. Because my desk is a complete mess. And so I couldn't wait to set it up. Almost as soon as I got the papers, I started going through all of the piles of notes and stuff that didn't even make it into my writer book. Because as I was prepping all of my notebooks for the new year and labeling everything as to what story was in what notebook so it's easier to grab, I realized I had a bunch of notebooks that just had bits and pieces of different stories. And that's a lot. So I started organizing everything and figuring out exactly what needed to go where. I color coded a few things just so that I wasn't just using purple paper, because if you know me, that's my favorite color, and if I could get away with it, everything would be in purple. What I didn't get was dividers, and because we're in a use it up year, I've decided that I'm going to just make my own dividers. I'm going to use some cardstock that I got from, I think this is Michaels. I got this from Michaels, and I'm just gonna cut it down to size. Now, the one thing I haven't figured out yet is if I'm just gonna cut the tabs into the paper itself, or if I'm gonna use some of the tabs that I have sitting around. So that's the one part of this I haven't figured out. I think for now, I'm just gonna forego tabs as I figure out exactly how everything fits together. While this is Prism Magic, and it's mostly winter themed, there are a bunch of pages in it that are really not winter pages, and those are gonna be what I turn into my dividers. So I'm gonna get the dividers cut, and then I'll go over what the different sections are gonna be, and kind of how I'm going to use this system going forward. Now, the one big problem with making my own dividers, besides the fact that I have to decide how I'm going to actually put the tabs in, is that I have a 3-hole punch or a 6-hole punch that I thought was going to work perfectly for this. Only I've come to realize that it is made for the size smaller than this, and the holes don't line up. So I am going to actually have to punch everything one hole at a time, which isn't completely a deal breaker. I only have to do like 12 dividers or something like that. So it's not super terrible, but it's still one of those things that's just a little frustrating with this project. Okay, that took a little bit longer than I was hoping it would, but I got all of my dividers cut and punched. So now I am ready to get everything sort of set up and ready to go. And while I'm not usually a big decorator kind of person, I think I am going to decorate this a little bit. So I have one of my offcuts that I'm going to slide in here. And it's going to stick out just a little bit. And then I also picked up this awesome sticker that says that I'm fueled by crystals and coffee. And I thought that was just absolutely adorable. And then I realized as I was getting everything pulled out and ready to go that most everything that I have that I want to have in here is from Procrastiplanner. So I have these mini monthly task samplers that talk about starting my edits, getting them done, you know, when I have deadlines and stuff. It probably isn't going to be super helpful in here, but having it in some place that I can see it quite regularly is probably the best idea I've had. I also have HB90 Method Mini Quarterly Kanban Reset, as well as the Mini Write laptop. And then I just have these two cute little cards, both from Procrastiplanner. You must be unintimidated by your own thoughts, because if you write with someone looking over your shoulder, you'll never write. And may your word count be as strong as your coffee. And I'm just going to tuck those in there. I also have these really cute unicorns. And then from the Mandy Lynn plans, I have these bright rainbow circle stickers that I want to keep in here just so that I can mark some of my story ideas when they go to a second page. I already sorted out all of my divider pages, so I have, I think, 14 of them cut. But I think these are so cute. So my first section that I'm going to put in is my blog ideas. And you can see some of these are super duper filled out. And I'm just going to toss in an extra piece of paper for that section. My next section is going to be some ideas for my videos. If you guys have anything you'd like me to do, let me know in the comments below, just so that I can bring you content that you do want to see. Section after that, yes, I'm still using all of these white pages. This is all of my story ideas, and they are written on individual pages just so that I can grab them and continue to work on them when I have more ideas for it. That's gonna, there we go. Then the next section is going to be character traits. If I can get these pages to separate. Just when I go out and sit in a coffee shop, I might write down what people are wearing. If somebody has an amazing hair design, like anything like that, that'll go in that section. And I am just tossing one extra sheet in right now, just so I can see how full this is going to be when I'm finished. My next section is names and descriptions of locations. That's going to be one of my green sections. And then this peachy pink is names, just so that I'm not using the same 5 names over and over again. And for this one, I'm not going to actually put an extra sheet in, just because I already have 4 in there. And then this next section is dialogue, just snippets and bits of dialogue that I have either overheard or my brain spits out at me, because my brain likes to do stuff like that. Then we have a section for items, just stuff that sometimes helps spark creativity or story ideas. Then this next section is what I like to call things to do. This one is just, you know, like them having a Nerf battle, or, you know, a treat drive-by, stuff like that. Then we're gonna stick in my romance things. And I don't actually have anything written down in that section just yet. So I'm just gonna drop a couple pieces of paper in there. Same thing for my brain dump. Then We're going to toss in our beat sheet, which I know is actually going to take up quite a few pieces of paper, just so I have room to be able to put Post-it notes down if I need to. And then I have 2 leftover dividers, which is fine by me. I'm just going to drop them back here. And then I'll fill the back part of this with more blank pieces of paper. And I think we're also going to put this pocket back here so that I can slip in any scraps of paper that I need to. Then in the front, I think I'm going to put the zipper pocket up here just so I can put Post-it notes and anything else that I think I'm going to need in here, more stickers, whatnot. Not that I expect that I am going to be utilizing a lot of stickers in here, but you never know, because this is going to grow and change as my needs grow and change. But I think it is super cute right now, and I am going to use, when I make sure that everything is organized and ready to go, I think I'm going to use these dividers along the sides just to make it easier for me to flip to whatever section I need to. And there you have it, my new writer notebook that can grow and change as my needs grow and change. I'm really excited to dig into this and finish bringing over everything from my current writer's notebook into this, just so that I have everything I need in one place. The section I'm most excited about is the story ideas, because there's quite a few in there that have been tinkering around in my brain for quite some time, and I really want to get into the meat and potatoes of those. Just writing them down on the different pieces of paper and putting them in here has made me excited to see what I can do with those ideas. But of course, first up, I've got to finish the House That Gaming Built series, with Game On being published, and finishing Press Start and Roll of the Dice, and Book 4, which I have a few working titles sitting in the notebook ready to go. So if you enjoyed this setup, let me know below. If you're enjoying watching me work towards debuting my first novel and continuing to adjust my writing style as my needs change, be sure to feed the algorithm, boop that like button, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.